Stop. If you are new to the series, please go to my playlist on my channel to view all series videos in order from the beginning. If you prefer text only, click on No VO, No Voiceover. If you prefer me talking, click on VO, BAL, Voiceover Brian Austin Lambert. Part 8. Catastrophe date and the only date it can happen on the flat earth. So here we are at the point where I answer the most important question you all want to know. When will it happen? The only date that the catastrophe can happen is starting on the winter solstice, December 21st. The Mayans had it right, but the controllers changed the year. You are actually not in the year of our Lord 2018. I will explain in another video. Genesis 1:14 King James Version. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." Here's a diagram of the solstices and the equinoxes throughout the year. Most of you truthers already know this part, but the rest of the masses have no idea. In the northern hemisphere, the sun reaches its most southerly point on the horizon on the winter solstice, and it is the shortest day. Then for 3 days it sets in the exact same spot. On Christmas Eve, if the sun sets heading back north, then nothing will happen and it's just another regular year. However, if the sun moves on a southerly path and then disappears on Christmas Eve, then hold on to your hats because things are going to get real bad. I will go into the science behind it in upcoming videos. When the sun disappears, then an electromagnetic phenomenon of such an unbelievable nature will make the whole world shake and burn, along with many other trials to endure. The Christmas Day catastrophe, the one and only date. Have this picture of this plasma etched into your mind. It's what's coming. On Christmas Eve and into Christmas Day, the electrical plasma event will be seen by the entire world at the top center of the dome that resides above us on our flat plane. That is the real reason why we have traditions of lights on Christmas trees and houses. We use electricity and light to worship and ward off the electrical plasma catastrophe that lit up the entire world. Christmas is not what you have been told. It is absolutely 100% the carried on knowledge of the ancients of the one and only date in the year the worldwide catastrophe can happen. This is why Jesus referred to it as the Son of Man, and why the whole world will witness the coming. When you are on a flat plane, then everyone will see, all at the same time, the plasma event at the very top center of the dome over the flat plane. All cultures describe the exact same event. How do I know the controllers know some of the knowledge but not all of it? Lots of reasons, but here are two examples. SpaceX launch over Los Angeles 22 December 2017, and the Russian rocket launch on 26 December 2017. Day after the solstice and the day after Christmas. They just had the wrong year. They were trying to get out of the dome. I will explain in an upcoming video. Part 9, Catastrophe Year, the shortening of days on the flat earth. Isaiah 13:10, King James Version. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. So what about the year? Let's get back to St. Peter's Square at the Vatican and their sundial. The controllers, or the elect, watch that very closely, as do I. When the days become shortened significantly, then it will be in that year. Remember Matthew 24:22, the shortening of days, see part 1. You have to track time to know when the days are shortened. You need an analog clock, preferably battery powered, that is not tied into the system. The controllers mess with time to conceal the shortening of days from you. That is the real reason for daylight savings time, so they can reset the clocks and the masses are none the wiser to the shortening. We lost 11 minutes last year by my calculations. Now, if you believe in the heliocentric model, then good luck to you and have a Merry Christmas. But when you accept the true structure and mechanisms of the 100% correct working model, then you will have a fighting chance to survive. The sun is so not what you think. The yellow thing we all see in the sky is just the focal point of light through a lens. Optics, no more, no less. The thing that produces that light is a deep subject for later videos. Yes, the sun can and does disappear. The electromagnetic plasma event causes the directional flow of electrical current to change directions. During the changeover, the light we call the sun gets replaced by the plasma and then the new world order begins. Your sky will no longer be what you see now. I call it the red sky. I will explain in detail in future videos. Now back to the SpaceX and Russian launches on the 22nd and 26th of December of 2017. They launched the day after winter solstice and the day after Christmas. They were spot on the dates, but off on the year. The shortening of days was not great enough for the electrical current and plasma event to happen. They were trying to escape through the gates of heaven, because those are the only dates you can leave your dome-covered plane. The huge plume from the rockets was from them actually piercing the waters above. Yes, people, there are waters above. That is why your sky is blue and your night sky is a very dark blue and not black. The rockets penetrating the waters is exactly the same effect when a bullet penetrates water, except the rocket isn't spinning, so no spiral action on the water. The controllers and the elect can never get it right because they do not have the Holy Grail. I do. It is the base structure of everything in the world, from the micro to the macro and everything in between. I will explain what it is and how it works, but before we get to that point, you have to learn a ton of truths before you get to the ultimate truth. People, you need to learn patience. The truth will be revealed, and the truth shall set you free. To sum up, in what year will the electromagnetic plasma event and catastrophe occur? Only in the year when the days are shortened significantly. You will know if you keep track of time. Part 10, Sun, Movement of Heavenly Bodies on the Flat Earth. The official explanation of the sun. Don't bother reading their text. It's BS. I will sum up their model for you. They think the sun is a nuclear furnace that creates its own energy from nothing, has been burning for billions of years, and will keep on burning for billions more. Also, let's not forget that it moves 514,000 miles per hour around the Milky Way galaxy and 1.3 million miles per hour expanding from the center of the universe. But it stays in a perfectly spherical shape with no tail created from those speeds. Comets have tails. So why do I mention a tail? Because it seems the only thing that moves in space, in their model, that creates a tail are comets. If comets create a tail from them traveling in space, wouldn't it make sense that all things hurtling through space should also have tails, including the sun and Earth? Comets in their model have dust and gas tails, while the Earth has dust and gases, and the sun has gases. With all the different movements and speeds of the heavenly bodies, only comets leave tails in their wake while traveling through space? Just like the Earth, the sun does not move. It is fixed and stationary. However, unlike the Earth, it does spin and rotate, but it is not traveling anywhere. The controllers say this image is of the red rectangle nebula, but this is really what your real sun looks like. This is a pyramid with the all-seeing eye. As above, so below. One pyramid above and one below with the capstone and eye at the connection point. The yellow thing in the sky you see every day is just light. The light comes from this plasma structure at the very center above the dome over the flat plane in the very center of the spherical hollow structure. When you have 6 pyramids all connected together, you get a cube. Then the cube becomes a cross. So 6 pyramids, ancient Egypt, form a cube, Islam, then unfolds into a cross, Christianity. Are you seeing why they worship these symbols? Because they saw them in their sky. This is why the controllers or the Illuminati worship the pyramid with the all-seeing eye. It is what is seen in the red sky after the catastrophe. They are warning their fellow members that the catastrophe is imminent. This is an image of a Vajra. Do your homework on this symbol. I will be doing a video solely on this structure. It is that important to know how the ancients knew this form. Let's recap and sum up what we know so far. Remember, all solid matter in the cosmos does not spin, rotate, or move. All solid matter in the cosmos is also motionless, fixed, and stationary. Not just some of the matter, all solid matter. The sun is fixed and does not move. The earth is fixed and does not move. If all solid matter does not move and the earth and sun do not move, then how does the sun, moon, and stars move from east to west in our sky? If you like riddles, you might want to pause it here to take some time to take a guess before the next slide. Again, the answer is simple. The light moves. Norwegian light spiral anomaly, 9 December 2009. This is a real photo. No worries, I will explain it all. Part 11. Light and optics on the flat Earth. A picture of our sun in the daytime sky. The sun is just light, the focal point of light through a converging lens. Here is light from flashlights. There is no difference between sunlight and light from these flashlights. The sun is just light. Simplicity. Optics, the key to understanding the light we call the sun. The two things you need in optics are light and a lens. A lens is just a transparent object that will reflect or refract light. Glass, ice, and water are all lenses. Glass. Ice. Water. Two types of lenses, a converging lens and a diverging lens. Converging lens is when the light passes through a convex lens and converges inward and crosses paths. Diverging lens is when light passes through a concave lens and diverges and moves away from one another. Total internal reflection. Light reflected and refracted while going through water as the lens. The waters above. Diagram of a convex lens and the focal point. When light goes through the lens, it creates a focal point. In the case of our flat Earth, the waters above is the converging lens that causes the light to converge into the focal point. The circular object you see in the daytime sky, we call the sun, is just the focal point of the converging light, no more, no less. The focal point of light on converging lens is on the same side of lens as the observer, opposite side of lens for the diverging lens. So focal point would be in the sky, below the lens and above the observer. Genesis 1:16 through 17. And God made two great lights, the greater light the sun to rule the day, and the lesser light the moon to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. The dome above the flat plane is not the firmament. The sky is the firmament, and the waters above is the lens. The sun is the focal point of light in the sky. Genesis 1:8 King James Version. And God called the firmament heaven. Sky equals firmament equals heaven. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Part 12. The electromagnetic ice dome on the flat Earth. There is one more part to the optical part to this story, the dome above us. What forms a dome is an electromagnetic process that will be covered in greater detail later in another video. The electromagnetic dome is why the controllers cannot get out until the changeover/catastrophe. It is also why they can only dig to 12.2 kilometers, 7.6 miles deep into the earth. The electromagnetic dome confines all matter within the dome, and nothing can enter or escape while the electromagnetic dome is up, except one thing: water. Remember, the dome is not the firmament. The sky is the firmament and heaven. Genesis 1:6 through 8 King James Version. And God said, let there be a firmament in the middle of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. Remember this picture in part 2, water, showing a very strong magnet repulsing the water. Water is diamagnetic and is repulsed by electromagnetic fields. Charge/polarity does not matter. Water is repulsed by both positive and negative charges/polarities. A section of the electromagnetic field is what separates the waters above from the waters below. Still too early to get into this any deeper, still much to learn before we can go there. Patience. Back to the dome above us. The electromagnetic dome is lined with a transparent lens. That lens is made of ice, not glass. The waters above are frozen at the coldest place, closest to the electromagnetic dome. A picture of two types of ice cubes. The one on the left is opaque and cloudy because it has impurities in the water. The one on the right is crystal clear because it is pure with no impurities in the water, distilled. The pure water creates a crystal clear lens that works just like pure glass in any lens that is man-made. Please go to the link in the description section to view a video on starting fire with ice. The ice is the lens and works like a magnifying glass, a converging lens that converges all light to the focal point. Then the focal point of light ignites the tinder to start the fire. Great survival skill to learn also. There is a huge difference between the waters above and the waters below. Above is pure water and below is impure water. How and why can water be pure above and not below? The waters above, pure, no impurities, even better than top grade distilled water. Because water is made above. A byproduct of plasma arcing is water. Go back to Mr. Too Tough 2 channel and watch Water on the Sun. He's got the EM electromagnetic part figured out, but can't see the truth because he is stuck in the heliocentric model. The waters below, dirty, lots of impurities mixed with all sorts of other matter and is not pure. Old, recycled water and not newly made. That is why ice is white and cloudy down here. The waters above, new, pure water equals crystal clear ice. The waters below, old, impure water equals cloudy, white ice. To sum up, the dome is not the firmament. The dome is an electromagnetic field. Water is diamagnetic, repulsed by EM field. Waters above and waters below. Waters freezes closest to the electromagnetic dome. Pure ice is formed and acts like a glass lens. Ice lens needed for second part of optics along with the waters above. Why do I keep showing this picture and what is it? This is called the apotheosis of Washington in the US Capitol building. Apotheosis definition: the elevation of someone to divine status, deification. Time for some homework for you. Part 13, Brian Austin Lambert on the flat earth. Who am I? I'm just another normal dude. I am no guru, prophet, savior, or anything else. I am just a dude who has always been extremely curious in how things worked. I have a very curious mind and would get extremely frustrated with the answers the controllers gave me. Nothing ever made any sense to me. I knew there had to be another answer to the garbage that I was taught. I was that super smart kid that everyone cheated off of in class. I could recite anything and everything. My mind was like a sponge. I knew every ounce of trivia and knew all the theories and beliefs. And yet I could still not come up with the correct answer to the model of everything problem. For leisure, I would do anything that challenged my mind. I loved trying to solve anything. I never let my mind atrophy. I always challenged it to keep it sharp and working properly. My background: grew up in small town on an orchard, normal kid, really liked girls, played sports, hence the love of 33, graduated high school 3.8 GPA, enlisted in the Army for college money in 1991, light infantry M60 machine gunner. What? Combat veteran, Somalia 1993, 3 humanitarian service awards, honorable discharge in 94. College 1995 to 98, hated it. Wasted time and money, 176 out of 180 credits for BA in ancient history. School wouldn't accept my passing AP exam in economics, so I was pissed and didn't finish my degree. Didn't care about their worthless piece of paper because I knew I learned nothing there anyways. Worked a whole bunch of odd jobs throughout the years. Here are the main ones. Managed large dog kennel starting in 99. Accounting manager, American Red Cross, started in 05. Starting inventing in 07. Started business in 13 with plenty of jobs and night jobs in between to make ends meet. Seems like I've done everything from logging with a chainsaw and excavator to working in a pathetic cubicle. I've delivered pizzas and I've picked up dog shysta for a living. So I think that makes me a pretty normal dude. I am broke and have a ton of debt. Yep, I'm normal. People have made a lot of comments, but the overarching negative ones have been this: it is impossible for anyone to figure out everything. That is why everyone else failed. I knew I could do it. Every problem has an answer. It just depends on how much pain and suffering one is willing to endure. And I can endure. Plus, I never said I figured out everything. I said I have the 100% correct working model of everything. Words, people, they have meanings for a reason. I also have an unwavering confidence in my mind and in myself. I know I can do anything because I do not set limitations upon myself. I feel sorry for the people that do, because they are the ones that place the shackles of bondage upon themselves. Now, I'll tell you the secret and why I succeeded and no one else did. I cheated. I listened to the elders, sages, prophets, and other ancient teachers' writings, and I listened to what they were actually saying and not what the controllers wanted me to know. That is where humility comes into play. When you humble yourself completely and realize you don't know jack shista, then you can hear what the words are saying and the messages being conveyed. My humbling came back in 2013. My epiphany came while working on the problem of light in my garage. I had never even seen a video on the flat earth, but the answer came to me and it hit me like a ton of bricks. The surface had to be flat. My world just got turned upside down. I'm a manly man and very rarely cry, but I broke down and cried for at least an hour. I just realized everything I was taught was either a lie or false. The death of my worldview was in full force. With the death comes the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So I suffered and humbled myself. Then quickly everything started to fall into place. The key to the puzzle was the flat surface. Everything was solved in my model by late 2013, except for one thing: the moon. So all the things you are seeing now, I have kept to myself since 2013. I was not prepared for what I was learning. It weighed heavy on me, hence this passage. Ecclesiastes 1:18, King James Version. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. How was I able to solve the problem while no one else could? Well, I'm glad you asked. Like I said, I have been working on the problem for the correct working model of everything since I was 7, at various levels and stages. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. While everyone else was looking at the tiny slice of their pie and being compartmentalized, I was looking at the whole pie. I was looking at the forest from afar while everyone else was looking at the trees from inside of the forest. The eyes can't see what the mind doesn't know. I could see clearly after my humbling because I had eyes to see and ears to hear. Nearly 40 years of research. Here are some of the subjects I researched and tried to understand: ancient and modern history, geography, economics, political science, all religions, mythology, legends, folklore, art, architecture, literature, biology, botany, anatomy, animal and human behavior, psychology, chemistry, physics, cosmology, geology, and among many, many others. That is why I keep telling all of you to be patient. To get the truth, you have to build the foundation. I am not doing this for people that think they already know the answers. I am doing this for everyone. So please stop being selfish and be patient. There are plenty of other things you can research on YouTube if you need to kill time. Plus, I already have given you all the answers in the first few videos through the images and pictures. Again, the eyes can't see what the mind doesn't know. But as we progress and you learn the foundation, then you will be able to look back and see. The truth will be clear at the end, but I told you getting there can be tough. Now imagine my plight. I had no one to help me except ancient writings. Then I had to figure out what was legit and what was fake. Not an easy task. In order for me to teach you the model of everything, you have to learn the basics of the model first to see the truth of everything. You have to learn how to crawl before you can walk. How do I know my model is 100% correct? Because I tested it through real science, what the ancients warned and foretold, and I could not debunk it. Trust me, I tried. I equate it to turning in a math test that I knew I scored 100% because I checked all of my work. I know I am right. You will all have doubts because you didn't do the work. So your confidence will not be the same as mine. But in the end, you will know that I was 100% correct. I have never kept any notes or reference material at all to any of my work on this for many different reasons, but mainly because I don't need to. I have a really high IQ and I can remember all this stuff and just pull it from my mind. Mia and I decided just over a month ago to disseminate this truth. So I am doing each topic daily straight from my head. The order I am disclosing is the only order that can be taught. You have to learn certain truths before you can grasp the following truths. It is the only way I know how to get people to understand. Plus, you are actually watching a movie being made. I will be editing all the parts together to make a longer movie. So you're getting the truth well in advance to when it should have been came out. Comment section. I approve all comments. Keep them clean and respectful. I will not get distracted or diverted. If you bring up gravity, have a Merry effing Christmas. I will get to the point where I will not be reading them and commenting. It's just too time consuming. If you make me mad, I will banish you to Elba. I had someone ask if I accepted donations. Yes, this is my life's work. I think being compensated for this is fine. No worries if you don't. Contact me through the YouTube messaging on my channel in the About tab. I'll respond with you with my email address for a PayPal transaction. Next video, part 14, my magnus opus, how light moves on the flat earth. Please share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. This wisdom is for everyone. You must pass on what you will learn. All videos are broken down by topics so you can reference back to them when needed. So many topics to cover, so we only have time to give you the answers and some examples. Homework will be required of you if you want to verify or dig deeper on an individual topic. Thank you.